Hey guys, I wanted to come on here and finally talk about something that I bought last November during Black Friday, but never had a chance to really play it until now. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I mean, I'm sure others out there have played it and they have waited, until this moment to completely, get into it. It's like they'll play a little bit of it, they'll play the story modes, the towers, and all that online, but they want to wait until they got the complete pack, the first fighter pack, if you will, combat pack, to thoroughly enjoy the game. And of course, I'm talking about Mortal Kombat 11. Now, the previous Mortal Kombat I got when my primary game console was the PlayStation 4, and it still is. But I decided to go with the Xbox One, I should say, or the Xbox One S, I should say, when it came to playing this, to see if there was any difference. And there's a bit of a difference, not much, but anyway, my overall thoughts about this game is very enjoyable. I put it this way, and I know I sound like I'm mumbling and all that. I do apologize. It's about 7:56 in the morning on this Wednesday, April 8th, 2020. I do have to work today, but I want to try to get some content out there as best I can without any kind of interruption. But getting back on point here, the game Mortal Kombat 11, and I know I'm probably late to the party when it comes to reviewing this, is really good, especially with the complete combat pack that you get. Now, there are two characters that you have to play the story mode or find in the store to purchase individually. That being Shao Kahn and Frost. I don't know why that is, but you gotta get those individually. Now, I try to get Frost, but apparently she's not available unless I gotta look individually. I'll probably have to do that. Shao Kahn, I think, is one that you can't. It's probably about the same thing. So either you spend about, what is it, $5 on each, $6 on each to get them from the store, or you play the game and you unlock them that way. But overall, the game itself, and you've obviously seen a lot of fights that I've already uploaded here on my channel. Like I said, it's enjoyable. It's really fun. Now, here's the thing. For the first time ever that I can think of, before I decided just to go this route because it's a lot easier for me, and to be truthful, in my opinion, it's a lot easier for people that don't play games like MK11 on a daily basis, that are not the hardcore gamers. We're not like the Angry Joes and AVGNs and all that are out there that have the time to master or kind of familiarize themselves with the combo buttons. Even though when you look online, it looks like it's easy to do. It looks like it's easy to perform, but it's like you got to be real quick. And I will say this, that when I was playing the game initially, and you'll see this in one of the first clips that I did, I was doing what was known as the team mode, because it took me a while to figure out, okay, how do I go from, one-on-one, person to person, to one versus the CPU, the AI. And obviously you got to press, in my case, the X button on the controller to switch from, player 2 to AI/CPU. Anyway, though, long story short, one of the first things I did to kind of familiarize myself with this version was the team battle, which is a 2 out of 3 situation. And in, I think, the second, or not actually the second, but the first matchup, at the end of that first matchup, I did a fatality without doing an easy fatality. What it was is that it was Cassie Cage against Vora, I think that's her name, and I got just so into it a little bit that when I got to the finish her part, all of a sudden, when they announced this to finish the opponent, all of a sudden, I guess I just hit the right combination, and Cassie hit her secondary finisher or fatality that she pulls on her opponents, where she basically shoots at them with her guns, and then she just bam, crotches them, dick kicks them, if you will. So excuse my language, God. But dick kicks them right in the bottom region to the point that she kicks them so hard the skeleton pops right out. And it's like boom, it just kicks the whole vertebrae and the skeleton right out of the body and splits them in half, kind of deal. So that was the only time, but I didn't know if I could do it again. And honestly, I mean, I could probably, but I'm one of those essential workers now with my job to where it's I'm going to need a lot of time to even master that kind of stuff. I think it was just I got so into it that I didn't even realize what I did. I just did it, right then and there. So what I've done instead is go the route, like I said, that a lot of people like me go when it comes to playing this game, and that is the easy fatalities. Because like I said, there's a lot of us that, unlike Joe Vargas, aka Angry Joe, James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, and many others, we don't have the time to master those kind of combinations, even though they're easier than usual. So we just decided to go the 2-button route, which is the easy fatalities. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't think we're the only ones that do that. And I'm not saying this is true, but I think some of those that I did mention, even though they will go the more legit route, as people put it, the more expertise route, I think sometimes they also go the easy fatality route too. That way, they can show the fatality right then and there. Let's say they're doing a review like I am. But speaking of which, the game, like I said, overall is enjoyable to play. There's a lot of stuff, in my opinion, that I discovered was really new to the whole situation. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Now, I don't know if they had this in MK10 or MK9. But this was a first for me, because when you're playing as a certain character that has a signature move, like a power move or something like that, all of a sudden, when your opponent or even you gets down to that very low level, that if you haven't used your fatal blow move, which is basically I think, what is it, RT and LT at the same time, or RB and LB at the same time, one of those, depending. I think it's RT and LT on the Xbox, and I think that would be R2 and L2 on the PlayStation. When you get to that point, what I'm trying to say is, when you get to that point, if you haven't pulled that off already, you're able to hit that fatal blow move to kind of knock your opponent that's beating you up down a peg to make it a little bit more even. But like I was trying to say, and I'm sorry if I got a little off topic there and lost track, I was trying to think about what I was going to say there, this being uncut, unscripted, on the fly. But anyway, when you get to a certain point, like I said, they have these signature moves, these power moves that will just knock you off your feet, knock you away so far and drain you of a lot of your energy. Well, once you get down to the very end, very tiny bit of life left, if you will, and unless you haven't used your fatal blow maneuver yet to kind of even the score, make it a little bit more even, if they hit you with that power move again, it goes from being just a legit power move to brutality. That's what it becomes. For example, if I put it up on the screen, I played as Terminator against Sonya Blade. And what happened is, the first time I played this, he's using the shotgun that he has, and he's, just blasting, Sonya away a couple of times. And as soon as we get towards the end of the match, all of a sudden, he does it again. I used the shotgun move again, and next thing I know, poof, it just blows Sonya's head off. And then it says brutality. And the same could be said for someone like Jackie Briggs. Jackie Briggs has this power punch move with the cybernetic armor or whatever she wears in her fights that will knock you down when she hits you and make you lose an amount of health. Well, it's the same thing with her, with that. You know, you're down to one tiny bit of life and she ends up hitting that power move. It goes from just, you know, draining you and knocking you down in a huge way, you know, reducing your life in a huge way, to becoming brutality. So yeah, a lot of the, I guess you could say, power / signature moves that they have, or more along the lines of the power moves, because the signature moves are the fatal blows. That's what they are. But the power moves, like I said, the shotgun from the Terminator, and like the power, the fist, the punching by Jackie Briggs, like it's kind of like a lunge punching. They end up being turned into brutality, and it is quite amazing. As I'm checking something here for a second. You know, it's quite amazing, and it's quite shocking at first when you first experience it, because when I was playing, I believe as who was it, the Terminator. I was playing as him against Jackie Briggs, and Jackie hit me because my life meter was down to this, and she hit me with that lounging power punch of hers. That was the first time I saw anything that normally it's just like a power move to knock you down be turned into brutality. That's what it was. So that was a real surprise to me. And, overall, like I said, overall the game is just one of those games that, if you're an expert of the MK series, you could pick up. You may have to relearn the controllers, how to do the fatalities. Not the easy way, but the legit way, or more expertise way. Once you got that all patterned down, it's a good game to play. Like I said, the only two characters you may have to get individually outside of combat packs is Shao Kahn and Frost, and that's either through the PS store, the PlayStation store, the PS store, or the Xbox store. Those are the only ones that you have to buy individually on their own, or you got to complete the story to do it. Now, I haven't done the story yet, but I understand from what I've heard from Angry Joe and many others that it's really good. And the fatality, well, getting back to story mode, like I said, first of all, from what I understand, the story mode is really good. I haven't played it yet. I'll probably play it down the line to kind of get more points, because the more you play this, the more you unlock things like time crystals and stuff. So it's pretty cool. You do get a lot of achievements. Like if you perform two fatalities, the two different fatalities of a character, you'll get a signal. Like with the Xbox, you'll get the Xbox signal of, hey, you've done this, you've achieved this. So it's pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool. And the fatalities, I'll tell you, man. Like I said, when I first did the Cassie fatality, which is known as Girl Power, where she kicks you in the bottom region and knocks your skeleton out, it is just mind-blowing. Is what it is. It's just really mind-blowing to see that, to see these kind of fatalities be the way they are. I mean, for example, the Terminator one. Even though we saw that with Angry Joe and stuff, it's like, in his review, the Terminator, well, not his review, but his reaction to the reveal of the Terminator, it's just really, just still brutal in a sense. Spawn's the same way. Because the two primary fatalities, finishers that they show are, for the Terminator, they show him sending you into the future. And Spawn's, basically where he does this with his chains, lifts you up, and just strips you of your clothing and your skin, and then covers you in his cape, and just turns you into a skeleton afterwards, reveals you as a skeleton, just takes your skin off. That is amazing in its own right. But they do have secondary ones as well. They do have secondary ones. One is what Spawn is he shoots his chains onto you, or he lifts you in the air and he shoots his chains onto you and he's pulling you down with his power and then just rips you apart. The same with Terminator. Terminator basically will take you. He'll, I guess, put something on you, make you eat something where your eyes glow silver or something. I don't know. And then he'll ride his motorcycle in, turn it around, and then which is turn it around on you, which will basically make you, jump into the air or cause you to, be propelled into the air. Then he'll take his shotgun and go, and then blow you to pieces. So, yeah, it's one of those kind of crazy and unique kind of environments, if you will, of fatalities. Like the primary ones are the more spectacular ones, like the ones you'll be sold on. But then they got the other ones that are just as good, but they're more along the lines of, hey, we just rip you apart, kind of deal. So, again, overall, it's not too bad. Overall, though, like I said, the game, just as a one-on-one fighting game, is not so bad. And like I said, I do utilize the easy fatalities because, like I said, there are people like me that don't have the time to memorize all these combinations, even though they're easier than usual or much easier to learn than usual. That even if we do them without the 2-button thing, it's just going to be out of sheer luck, or just like, hey, we get so into it, all of a sudden, boom, there you go. I think the closest for any of us that, because obviously people will criticize the easy fatalities, but for any of us that are not, like I said, don't have the time to memorize that because, we have work to do sometimes. Like with me, like I mentioned today, I got to go to work, even though for 4.5 hours. It's just one of those situations where you get so much on your mind, you don't have time to memorize those. And, the closest we could get is the brutalities being the ones that we don't need, as they would say, an easy out to perform, because it's just like, if you know the combo for the power move, as I call it, that turns into a brutality, if your opponent or you is into that tiny bit of life left, then then there you go. That's your primary situation, or your primary power move to win a match. But again, the game is pretty good. I mean, like I said, you can earn what's known as time crystals and all that. With as many times as you play the game, unlocking things and stuff like that, playing certain modes and all that, you earn time crystals. They're mainly like 10 or 15 a piece. And as far as buying them individually, if you don't want to wait, it all depends on if you're willing to spend a lot. For me, in that example, I got 50 time crystals to do an easy fatality with. Oh, not 50 time crystals, but I got $5 worth of time crystals that allowed me to buy 50 easy fatalities with. So I was able to. So that's how I was able to always do the fatalities. But like I said, and again, I know people might criticize that, but if they're willing, here's the thing: if NetherRealms is willing to put this into the game, then that's on them. Obviously if they get enough complaints and all that down the line, maybe they'll take it out and be like, look, you want to play this game, you want to do the fatalities, learn to do them the right way. So maybe NetherRealms may do that with MK12, but overall though, like I said, as far as the time crystals go, the price range individually, if you don't earn them in game, for what you play and all that, they can range from $4.99, which is $4.99, to, I think the most expensive is $39.99 at most. That's what I'm looking at, and it gives you a whole bunch of time crystals to spend on whatever, whether it is easy fatalities, whether it is different skins and stuff like that. So overall, again though, overall, and I know I say that a lot here, I do apologize, but overall the game is pretty good. It's really nice. I really like it. I like the fact that it, along with Smash Brothers, are two of the fighting games out there that are continuously expanding their roster with with potential fighters and everything. And that was my dog. She was just waking up. She's okay. But like I said, I like the fact that it, along with Smash Brothers, is one of those game series out there, or current incarnations of the game series, that are continuously expanding the fighter roster with different different combat packs or fighter packs. Right now we got already people guessing, or if not almost I should say, accurately estimating what characters we're going to get next. Like this one guy estimated that we're getting Shiva, we're getting Snipe. I think we're getting Shiva, Strider, and some other guy's name from the Mortal Kombat series of games from the past that didn't appear legitimately as playable in other versions, but could become DLC here, part of the second combat pack. And then he projected that the two guest characters we could get in the second combo pack, a combat pack, along with those established MK characters, is Ash Williams and the Doom Hunter from the Doom game, Doom Eternal and all that. That's what he's estimating. As well as he's estimating Michael Myers from Halloween. So the three, like I said, he's looking at three established MK characters like Shiva and Strider and this other character, to be part of the second combo or combat pack, along with the three guest characters of Ash Williams from the Evil Dead series, Michael Myers from the Halloween series, and possibly the Doom Slayer character from Doom Eternal, or the Doom series, period. And that's not a bad estimation. That's not a bad guess, I should say, because he's even going off information from previous years in interviews that the IGN and others have had with the creators. And during one of those interviews they had back, I think in 2015, they mentioned, hey, Michael Myers could potentially be on the list. Because he even points out that he mentioned that he even brings up a clip from that same interview where they talked about the potential of the Terminator showing up in the MK series, and look who we got now. So, him bringing up the clip where they talk about possibly bringing Michael Myers in, there you go. That potentially could happen. The Doom Slayer from the Doom series, that's kind of a question mark, because I'm not saying they couldn't get him, but it all depends on what kind of agreement they could work out with who does the Doom series, EA or someone. So it's up to what they'll be able to work out. But if I was to make a guess, I would say that the two guest characters are probably like Myers and Williams are legitimate. There's no doubt, in my opinion, that they will show up. But if I was to take another guest character, I think they're going to probably go back to the DC library like they did with the Joker. And I think, honestly, this is going to sound crazy. It's going to sound crazy. But I think the person that they'll bring in for a third guest character will be from DC, and it will be Constantine. That's who I think it's going to be. It's either going to be Constantine, because he's a big player in the upcoming Justice League Apocalypse War animated film, or it'll be Zatanna, but I think more than likely it's going to be Constantine. It's going to be Constantine. So I totally agree with, I can't think of his name right now, but I totally agree with the estimation of, along with Strider and Shiva and this other Mortal Kombat character being part of the second pack, that along with them, the guest characters being Ash Williams, Michael Myers and all that, I agree with that. But the third option, I'm going to say Constantine, because I think that's probably the most legitimate. That's probably the best legitimate outside guest character you could get. Within that's within the realm of easy DLC without having to go through all these logistics and stuff like that for somebody to get the rights or to get the licensing to at least put a character one time in the Mortal Kombat series. I mean, look, it's not the first time that they've had a game character in the MK series. They had Kratos from God of War back, I think, in MK9. I think that was the PS3, PS4 version. But that was way back then. This is now, it's a totally different ball game. And again, my opinion is I think the easiest solution, and NetherRealms probably knows this, is to get someone from the DC universe, and I think it's got to be Constantine. Now you might think Batman would be a good choice, and he could be, but his moral's not killing. So I think the best solution is going to be Constantine, because his character's in that realm. His character is known for being in this kind of a realm and environment that Mortal Kombat's a part of. So that's my guess. I mean, that's my guess. I mean, again, my personal opinions, I agree totally with 5 of the characters that'll be part of the second combat pack, but the 6th character, I gotta go with Constantine out of DC Comics. But anyway, though, getting back to the game itself, like I said, I enjoyed it. It's really good. I recommend picking it up. And like I said, I recommend picking it up. You can get it for between, I think, $29.92 and $39.92 now, depending on where you get it online at. You could probably still get it for $59 as well, and I think you can still get the whole deluxe pack and all that online as well. But really can't say any more than that. I mean, the game is just fun to play. It will surprise you, especially during like certain moments, like when you get next to a certain environmental object, like a spike. Like your character, you'll be able to throw your opponent will be able to throw you right into that thing, and you'll see the reaction. Like if it's a spike, like if it's some kind of like little spike, you'll be able to see them pushing your head right onto the spike, and you see the spike go from here to here. Or if you're next to your vehicle, you'll see yourself get thrown right into it, to where you see part of your skeleton, your skull be visible. Kind of they're doing the X-ray kind of stuff. Or if you're going for like a big leap and your opponent's gonna punch you like this at the same time, you see like your teeth come out and everything. So, well, not your teeth, but you'll see that you'll see that skeleton, that X-ray there. So overall, just a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun to have with with this game. So, to me, like I said, I highly recommend getting it. Especially nowadays, especially right now, you want something to keep you busy, to occupy you. This would be the game to do it, in my opinion. So, that's just my thoughts on Mortal Kombat. But that's just my overall review on Mortal Kombat 11, the Xbox X or the Xbox One S version. But overall, depending on what version you get, it's worth getting. So, in my opinion. So, anyway, though, guys, thank you all for watching and listening, because this might even go podcast as well. And I will talk to you all later. God bless. Take care.